I just had to make a silly face, y'all. Come on back in here. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. We got a really last final good one for this evening. And I'm going to, it's the Sabbath for me, like I talked about in the last one, and how, this is the time I've been designated to, do some more work and stuff. So, yeah, I'm getting it in. And I know I have the gift of gab. I know that. You think I don't know that? I know it. Like Medea and them said, like, I don't watch them kind of movies no more. But, I know that. I know. Think I don't know. And then I'm going to tell you why, I'm not, it's not something bad. If you have a gift of gab and you kind of like me, let me tell you something. It's a gift from God, and it's molding and shaping you into doing what you're supposed to be doing. Now we're going to talk about at length what that is, and it's going to bring it right around and tell you how you're chosen. If you have a gift of gab, or you have certain skills like this and you resonate, come on, put a message, put a word in a comment saying, I got the gift of gab. I know I'm chosen. I resonate. I can resonate, or I can relate. Can you relate? Like Eddie Murphy said, Nutty Professor. I can relate. Oh my goodness. Oh, so anyway, when I was little, and in regards to this gift, I was always picked on. I ain't gonna front. My family used to pick on me something fierce. I'm little, 6, 7, 8, and I used to shine. I ain't gonna lie. I shine. I was so in tune with nature, so in tune with God. I grew up in the Black Catholic Apostolate Church, so I love me some God. We lived poor. We didn't live poor. We lived po. We couldn't even afford the OR. We was po, child. I thought that was my house. It was the project. We used to sit out on the porch and then next on that green box. Y'all know that green box in the hood. And I'd sit out there. I'd come home from school with them religious books, and I'd sit the other kids of my age, and we'd be talking, and I'd be like, this is what I learned today. You got to have faith. You got to have hope. And I'm running my mouth. And here come my brothers and sisters. Get in the house, little Miss Mother Teresa. Always out here thinking you so smart and stuff, oh, big mouth. And there was a Jetsons episode. See, my family, we grew up in jazz. Our name is related to some big famous names and stuff. I ain't gonna go there, but yeah, so we were all about learning the jazz and learning instruments and things like that. So the only cartoons my father really liked us to watch was the Hanna-Barbera, because the intros always had the jazz, like Johnny Quest, the Jetsons, and the Flintstones. I really like the Jetsons, especially when Jane Jetson got out there and sang that song, won't you fly home, Bill Spacely? Won't you fly home? I miss you all day long. I was like, that's me. So anyway, so yeah, I grew up on that kind of music, and it was what was I talking about? Hello. Oh, the light in here's gotten bad again. So, yeah, they called me Big Mouth Uniblab because there was a robot in the film that named Uniblab. So they start calling me Blab. And I used to feel so bad. What are they picking up? But I didn't realize it. It never caught on until I got older. The gift of gab I had was going to catapult me into all the successful, great things I did. I took a college course one year, and it was called Effective Communication. Let me tell you, that was the best course. I enjoyed taking that course. I couldn't understand how other people in the class didn't like it, because it came a point in time where the teacher wanted us to do a verbal essay. And many of the students, I ain't doing that. I can't do that. Help me. I don't know how I'm going to pass. Teacher, can you help me? And I'm like, it ain't going to be hard. I'll help you being an empath. But I couldn't understand. I swooned through that class with an A+. I didn't want it to finish. And my effective speech became so great. I ended up, in the future, it catapulted me to be able to be a good performer the way I was, and speak to crowds before I performed, and TV show. I had my own TV show. We did many episodes and stuff. I was teaching in the Catholic Church. I used to teach CCD classes, and I had my own choir. I had the youth choir. I was a pastor, not pastor. I was a lector, minister. I was a lector and a Eucharistic minister. So, they appointed me for so many different things. It was like God opened up so many doors for me. And that's, the gift I got. I was working with the children. I had camp in the summer with them and stuff. So I learned to embrace the gift. It's my purpose and see what God is doing with me. So that's what I'm going to talk about. But let me tell you something. When I went through, I have been away from a lot of that performing and stuff because once the pandemic hit, child life changed for me like you wouldn't believe. Things went south. And it wasn't no more. I got away from the church too because of the awakening. But when I got away from my singing, listen, I hosted music awards in Chicago 5 years in a row. Like, you know, I went down there just to win an award. Next thing you know, they like my skills and stuff, and we want you to host it. You ain't said nothing but a word. I was back down there every year, and let me tell you, they paid all expenses, the flights, the rooms, the food. It was covered. They were salt to the earth people. I love me some Chicago people. I sure enough do. So during the pandemic, when I went through all I went through here, I go with the gift again. I endured some really terrible stuff. At one point in time, I lost everything. I went through a nasty divorce, and I ended up homeless to get out of that house because I went into a shelter, and during which time my mother died in 2021, and they gave me permission to leave the shelter to go back home. I had put all my stuff in a storage unit when he was at work. So I come back to home, and I was up way in the Berkshires, up in the mountains, but then I came back home because they gave me permission for the funeral for my mom when she passed away. So I go do all that, and then when I head back to the shelter, I get there, all them girls in there. It was like orange is the new black, child. Some of them had them bracelets on from jail. Yeah, that's what be up in there. It ain't all candies and roses. Them girls is evil. So they was mad how she get to leave. We mad. They was upset. We don't want her here. They were fighting and talking junk and going to the heads. They caused such an uproar that they told me, I know we gave you permission, but everybody's so upset. We can't have this here, so we're going to have to ask you to leave. Child, it was right after Thanksgiving, the dead of winter. I had to put all my stuff in the car so stacked up so high I couldn't see out the back. Driving all the way 30 miles back from Pittsfield all the way to Springfield, Mass. But in the dark of the night, it started snowing. I go to family's house, child. It was like baby Jesus and Mary. Ain't no room at the end. Everybody slammed the door in my face, talking about some no. The first place I was staying at, people started fighting, so I decided I got to go. I'm not staying here. So I'm sitting in my car. And I'm crying. God, what am I going to do? He told me, shut off the car. Shut off everything. Turn off the music. Sit there. Be still and know I'm God. So I did exactly what he said. I calmed down. He said, breathe. Woosah. I'm breathing, right? All of a sudden, the still small voice came in. I heard it. It said, go to Andy's. Go to Andy's. That's my nephew. Sweetest child on the earth. Go to Andy's. I said, yeah. Oh, I didn't even think of that. Go to Andy's. I flew over there. I'm talking to his wife. She opened up the door, welcoming me. You ain't homeless. Get in here, girl. We talked and everything. But as soon as I saw her, I knew she was sick. I knew she was sick. But she got 7 kids. Her and my nephew they doing the best they could. They living in their house. They got issues. The whole family two-faced to them. They've been dealing with the being chosen too, but the outcasts and families and stuff like that. So they going through their thing. But she opened the doors and welcomed me. I knew, thin and everything. I knew what was coming. But I just paid attention to her shine. I didn't pay attention. I didn't let her know I could see what's going on. We could see we're gifted. So anyway, ultimately I'm in there helping them, and I'm like, I'll give you rent money. I have my rent money. I have money saved up waiting for my apartment. I'll pay you. I'll watch the kids. There's 7 kids. And they was like, no, don't worry about you family. You stay here. But I still helped out anyway. Ultimately, we got through Christmas. It was, a horrible time. But you know what? It's the best Christmas I ever spent. And let me tell you exactly why. So the kids, a couple of them had birthdays that month. Her birthday was 2 weeks after Christmas, and then a week after Christmas, and then she died. She died right 2 days after New Year's. It was horrible. It was heart-wrenching. But you know what? God put me in that circumstance, and all of a sudden, he filled me up and said, you going to get in there and do what you got to do. So I helped my nephew with everything. We had to raise money with GoFundMe because he couldn't match the whole full thing. And so I happened to know the funeral director because I sang there before. I've evangelized there at different funerals. She said, listen, TC, I know that's your nephew. I know that the situation's so horrible, but you get in there and do it, and you do the service. I'm gonna let you do the service for half the price, and we're gonna get it done. So we did the darn thing, and I went in there and I did the darn thing. I couldn't believe it. Put my stuff aside, being the watcher that I am, and I did the service. That's what I mean by Vivica Fox. She took over and she just did the thing Mama would do. You see what I'm saying? And that's the kind of appointing and anointing you have over your life. We're getting ready to end. So I hope you enjoyed what I just told you about my life. And we'll see you in the next one. I love you, watcher. Remember, this W means you are a holy watcher. It's not an M. And we'll see you more. Keep watching. I love you.